I'm going to wait for a few people to get in. And then I am going to get started. So you guys are up high on my thing here, so I won't be able to keep up with your chatter at the moment. I don't have my secondary screen to read, but I'm really excited about today. Let's see what we got here. We have a lot of stuff. I wanted to just chit chat with you guys about some things, and I have some new products laying on my table. I got a little COVID antsy and went to Tuesday morning. But honestly, when you go to Tuesday morning, you don't end up spending that much money because Tuesday morning rocks. Um, but that's just the way it goes. Um, I love Tuesday morning. Best place to buy products, craft supplies. If you know, like there are some that are better than others. But I have a few that I go to. There's actually two in my hometown, so they're not too far apart from each other. Let's see. I'm actually clearing off a chair so that I can get high and look at the chat every once in a while. Oh, I hope you guys are having a good time and doing well and staying safe. I wanted to create a little bit and spread some joy. Oh, I have two people in the chat and I missed who they are. Hi, everybody. Say hi if you say hello. Let me know who you are. Super excited to be here. Hey, Sierra. Oh. So today's going to be a little different. I'm going to create a few things and talk about a few products. I'm not necessarily going to pour, but we're going to create something. I mean, obviously you can tell there's something under this tarp here that I'm really excited about. And I just put the tarp there to protect it while I talked about these items that are on top. I am doing fantastic, Sierra. How are you? Staying safe, doing everything you can to stay clean and safe and healthy. But, I mean, what can you do? Wash your hands, wear a mask, you know? So I'm just kind of killing a little bit of time and letting everybody get into the chat. So. Hi, Sandra. How are you? How are you doing with all this? Hello. So, guys, let's get started and talk about some of the things that are laying on my table. I'm great, just ready to go back to work. Oh, yeah. They opened up hair salons in Georgia about the last week in April, and oh yeah, definitely hanging in there. So I was able to go back to work for a few days, and then I got into a pretty bad car accident, but I'm fine. And just dealing with insurance and getting a new car because my car was completely totaled. But I'm good. I'm rolling. I'm still here. I'm alive. I'm great. No dents, dings, or hurt anything. So thank God for that. Um, yeah. But with the car accident, I ended up having to self quarantine for 14 days just to be on the safe side. So I actually am fresh back at work for the last 2 weeks. I've been back at work, and it's actually been pretty great. People are understanding. Oh yeah, California is. I've been watching the news, and I've seen a lot of people slowly opening up. Thank you, Sierra. Yeah, it is what it is. Car accidents happen every day, even during pandemics. But I mean, what can you do? Um, like I said, everything's fine. It wasn't my fault. The accident altogether was not my fault, and so I was blessed in that area. Um, so let's get started with some of these products here. So I went to Tuesday Morning, and any crafter or artist worth their salt knows Tuesday Morning is an awesome place to go. You can get fairly decent products cheap. And so I ran across like this whole line of the this brand called Colorpore. And you all know that I love my pores. My pores, what I excel at, and I loved it. And um, I just wanted to chit chat my feelings on pre-made, ready-made pouring kits. I'm not bashing them by any mean. I mean, if you're looking for a project to do with your children and you don't want to buy up a ton of stuff, by all means, go ahead. However, I do have a few reservations about doing that. First things first, it's kind of like making your own cake versus buying a box cake. You don't really know what the dry ingredients in the box cake are. I mean, you kind of do. You have an idea, but you don't really know how much of anything they've put in there. Anytime you buy something ready made or pre-mixed, you don't really have control. When you mix your own things, however, like when I mix my own paint, I have my own recipe. I know it's going to work every time, and I know how it's going to work every time. Um, that's why I am an advocate for buying and mixing your own paints. I do understand that there are people on a budget, and I do understand that, the pre-made pouring things are subpar. But I can get behind this. This is awesome. This is when we first started this pouring thing. When I first got into it, embellishment was hard because you had to find it. You had to figure out what you wanted to embellish with. Not everybody's a glitter person. Glitter gets everywhere, stains everything, yada yada yada. This, however, excuse me, excuse me. This, however, these things, these people have made. For instance, let's open this guy right here. So I have like cut the little round tabs on these packages so that it would make easy opening. This is the foil. You guys saw me put foil in my pour last time I painted with my mother, and now they have actual marketed foil. Now, Tuesday Morning is gracious enough, let's see if I can get it to focus, yep, to put the original price and their price. So this typically sells for $3.50. I got it for $3. I'm okay with $50 discount, or 50 cents discount. Also, they have one, pull this out, that is like icy shimmer. And they just call it pouring embellishments. It doesn't say, it says iridescent flakes down here. But, I could get behind this. So, those things are awesome. I'll take it. And I got 50 cents off because I shopped at Tuesday Morning. Now, the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is, you have all seen me on my channel take flour, all-purpose flour, just whatever you cook with, dust my painting, and let it soak up that oil that floats to the top. Yeah, at Hobby Lobby as well. So apparently they have made a talc powder for that reason, which is pretty cool. And again, this talc powder was marketed at $4.89 and I got it for $4. So I got roughly $1 off. And it even gives you a little bit of a visual on the back, right? So that is also very handy. I could get behind them selling that. This is glossy varnish, and it has a little bit of it's a clear finish, but I think it has like a little bit of an iridescent sheen to it. or the one that I have at the house does. This one is a clear finish though. Awesome. This one was marketed at $10 and I got it for $6. Awesome savings. What? So that's awesome to have that ready made for me. This here I am really excited about. Does the varnish save is water based? I would imagine so because it's made for acrylic, but let's see. No, it doesn't, but it does give you a website on the back. You know, that's my one complaint about this company. They never give you a lot of information on the back of their products. They only give you like the 1, 2, 3 instruction and then inspiration video. But that's what YouTubers are here for, right? Test it out. So there's that. This I was really excited about because it's an actual art tool set, of course. I mean, you could buy this and use it for any artwork, honestly. And that's mainly the reason why I was excited to buy it. Because I could use it for multiple things, not just my pores. But I'm excited to use it for my pores. It was marketed at $17.50 and I got it for $12. And it comes with all of these things. It comes with a pipette, 2 palette knives, 2 combs, which I've done the comb pores on here where you dip your comb in the silicone and then dip it on the paint, which, oh, awesome. And this one's wide tooth and this one has different variations. 2 paint brushes, a pointy doohickey jiggy, don't know what it's called, and craft tweezers. So I think this is a good buy. But what I'm really excited about, and I know that this is acrylic because I have played with it in my art journals. I couldn't help myself. I went ahead and opened it. But these are gold gild to embellish your pores with. This one's iridescent, this one's gold, and I have a silver one at the house. So, I mean, they make gold, silver, and iridescent. And if you look at the picture on the back, you can see that's what exactly it does. It just embellishes your pores, make it look pretty. So, there's that. So I do have, I'm going to get off the chair now so I can't read the comments. Sorry, you all. I am really short, and my little doohickey jigger that I use to hold my camera is really high. So I'm going to move these things out of the way. And I'm going to focus now on the talc powder because I have this set of coasters. And I did these when I did my first initial comb pour. It looked like alligator skin. It was awesome. Got the same results on the coasters, but probably not a good thing to put these things on my standing chair. There we go. I'm going to get back up here so I can see the camera again. They're beautiful, right? But let's see if I can get it to show. If you look, you can see everywhere all of that. You see how shiny my finger is? That's a lot of oil floating on top. I can't really scrub this because it is a ceramic tile with acrylic paint on it. So, what do? Like I said, in the past, I've just done flour. But I want to test out their little talc powder idea here. So I'm going to remove this. You guys can see I have not tested it yet. Waited for you all. Alright, remove that. Close it up. And honestly, I might keep this little guy, this little container when I get done with this bottle. And I might just put flour in it and then relabel the bottle because if this does allow me more control where the flour goes, it looks like it is going to. So I'm just going to squirt some out here. Now, I find this is a very important step. You cannot skip this step. You have to remove the oil or your varnish is never, ever, 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 ever going to stick. I'm actually going to grab just a cheapo paintbrush that I got from Walmart or someplace, and just move that powder around on there. And I'm going to put it over to the side during this live, and I'm just going to let that powder sit on these coasters and just do a job, basically. So I'm just dabbing it and moving it around, making sure that the powder is everywhere, because when I do varnish or treat these coasters to be used, then guess what? I like I don't want to see holes in my varnish or my resin or whatever I decide to varnish in. I don't want to see the oil separate that sealant. You could also seal your pores with Mod Podge if you don't want to waste your money on varnish or do that, but it just won't be as glossy and or matte as you want it. When I do coasters, I do enjoy using resin to finish them because people are going to be sitting hot drinks and stuff on there, and resin is just a bit more durable. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and we will test this when we get done with our project today. So I have 2 or 3 different projects that I want to do. The first one, I'm started, obviously. I put the talc powder down. I'm going to let it sit on my coasters. I got it spread out nice. Here I go, putting them on the standing chair again. Oy vey. Alright, there's that. Move those out of my standing chair. I'll get up there before I move on and look at the comments here in just a second. Where is my... Oh, there he is. All the way over there. I do have like a little sweeper. It's not going to get everything up, but it's going to get a good majority of it up. There we go. Move that out of the way. Alright. Now, do I have any questions about powdering your finished works? Anything at all? Just waiting on. I mean, it's fairly straightforward. You just want to put some sort of powder. I do enjoy the flour trick has worked very well for me. And then when the flour I feel has sat on the work very well, I'll wipe it off with a damp cloth. And if I feel like there's still remnant of oil, I will take a very soft sponge and have you ever used baby powder? Yes. I have used baby powder. Baby powder is very fine. And I find that it gets in the cracks. It's really hard to clean without like scraping your paint, which is why I'm interested to try this talc powder, because I'm kind of hoping it won't do the same thing baby powder did. But we'll see. I mean, it's worth a try. And for $3.50, why not, right? But when you do wipe your work clean of the powder, take a soft sponge and a little bit of Dawn dishwashing liquid or like grease fighting dishwashing liquid, and that should remove any more remnants, and then you should get a nice smooth finish on your piece. Sweet. Sierra, thank you for joining me. You and Sandra, thank you all for joining me. I can't tell you how much I enjoy visiting with y'all. I know I've been kind of MIA lately, but with work, corona, car accident, and studio not opening, life has been just slightly hectic. But I am filming in my new studio, and I'm really happy with that. I'm really sad I haven't been able to open to the public yet. But the time will come, and I will be happy when it does. And I hope to God a lot of people show up. I mean, that's all you can do, right? Advertise and pray. All right, ladies, let's move on to our next projects. I have two artworks, right? Hey, James. Good to see you. So, what you missed was I'm showing people how to use ready-made products on their art pours, and then I've decided to do a regular Amanda crazy reveal of a project that I'm working on and I wanted to share. So you haven't really missed anything. I've only spread talc powder on my three artworks right now. And now I'm moving on to the next project. So I'm going to get down and I hope they show up. I'm gonna get down and I'm gonna grab, and again, I'm sorry you all, but I'm not gonna be able to read the comments while I'm down there. And I will get back up and check the comments when I finish doing that. And I guess that's just the pace of this live because I forgot to get my second screen. So let me go grab those. I've got two artworks, and I want to use the little paint canisters and embellish them. Now, these particular artworks were mixed with no silicone, so I didn't have to powder them. I didn't have to wash them first, but I always do recommend before you embellish with any type of paint to do so. Powder and wash them first because the paint won't stick onto the oil. So let me hop down and I will show you those paintings. So I have two here. I have this one, which I did a melody style type pour. I poured it, mixed the paint in such a way that I didn't have to add any oil, and it gave me really beautiful results. And this is a ring pour, and you don't typically put oils in ring pours because they give you their own design. They don't necessarily need the silicone. Now, the problem with this ring pour is the background was black, and I used dark colors in the ring. So I want the ring to show up more. I want it to be better. So I'm going to use the gold paint here to kind of bring that ring out. And I've got a few paint brushes here that I've got, but I think I'm going to pop over there and get a smaller paintbrush in just a second. So I already did kind of crack these open because again, I wanted an easy opening on the stream, which I probably should have done it better because it's not easy opening. Okay, there's that. These were $4.19 originally, and now they are marked at Tuesday morning at $3.50. I don't know if I told you that earlier, and I think they're worth it. Like I said, I've used them. I couldn't wait, and I played around with them in my art journals, and they are really great embellishment paint. So I have a teeny tiny paintbrush here. I'm going to get my gold. I'm going to sit this one to the side, and I'm going to work on this ring pour really quick. Here, I've got a washcloth. I haven't touched this painting in a while, so I just want to make sure that there's no dust or anything on it before I play around with it. So I just a dry, clean washcloth, and I just rub it down. I'm going to open my paint. And let's see how this embellishes. Wow. So cool. It's really pretty. The gold is very opaque. Go around these cells here. messed with any natural cells that I had in this pore. But at the same time, I do want to embellish that shape. And I just let the paint kind of play out, and I'll move on to another area. So, and I'm very loosely holding my hand and just kind of following my guidelines. The painting will give you guidelines. So I'm not gonna, well, I don't know, I might do the whole thing. I like where sometimes the paint is lighter than where I started, but at the same time, I also like where it's very opaque. So I just went through my pores that I had stored and picked out a few that I wanted to embellish. And you notice I'm not going around every single line here. I'm just kind of hand picking a few, starting in a few different areas. And embellishing my pour. Now, I don't know how exciting this is to watch, or even if it's slightly boring. I don't know. So I think I want to move on to I did play with the gold in my art journal and I love it. I'm gonna put my little thing in water and I'm gonna shift this around and see if you guys can't see how gold that is. It's gorgeous. So if you can imagine me going through and embellishing this whole ring, I think it's just going to give it that pop that it didn't have before. Or even just embellishing this middle area and make it look like a more of a geode. And then doing a few of the bigger lines there. I haven't really decided that, but I think it would be great for this. So I'm going to move this out of the way and I'm going to pull out this one. And I thought, because this one has, where's my washcloth? Because this one has cream in there, I thought the iridescent would look, the iridescent color, I did swatch it on white paper. So it does have a gold sheen to it, but it's more iridescent. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go along these cream areas on the inside here and embellish this one with the iridescent one because I don't want this one. I think is very beautiful as is, but I just want a little extra because I'm a little extra. Oh god, I don't know. Let's see if I have a piece of paper here. I should, right? It's an art studio. Here we go. I'm not too happy with this watercolor painting that I tried, so I'll just do it on the back. So I don't know if you guys can see that sheen. It's very translucent, but it's got a little bit of a gold sheen to it. So I think when I apply it to this cream area, I think it will just make it pop. And I think because it's so iridescent, I can actually get away with actually painting the whole cream area, which will make me happy because then when it shifts, when people shift as they're looking at it, they'll be like, wait a minute, what was that? Which I'm very happy that it's that transparent, you know what I mean? Like, because there's sometimes there's things that you want to add But then you're like, no, I really like that part. But if I add it, I have to add it there too. Like, I really love this cream area, but my favorite part about the cream area are these little maroon cells in them. Maroon or purple, I can't really remember exactly which color that was. I think it was actually magenta, the Artist Loft magenta, but that always comes off as purple to me. This one's a bit easier to do, so I don't have to be as precise. Well, I mean, I wasn't really being precise on the other one either, but I don't really have to, because it's so transparent, I can just kind of swipe it and give it the hint of that embellishment there. And these will be drying while we're working on my next project that I want to move on to. And that's why I decided to go ahead and do some pours with this, because I'm going to use this product in an unconventional way in just a minute. Not what it was intended for. Of course, I'm going to use the gold one because I really love the gold one. But I'm going to use the gold one, and I'm going to use it on my next project, which is not an acrylic pour. I kind of want to put some here, but I don't want to put it completely because I don't want it to, well, I don't know. Do I want to put it completely? Let's see. What the heck? It's on there now. Not going to go down into those cells. I might go over these ones over here. Yeah, I love how this line just kind of fades off into nowhere. I think it just looks so good. Okay, I'll put a little on this guy here in the middle. Now, I think I want to do this so I don't waste that little dollop that was on my brush. I don't want to put that in my water. There we go. I don't know if you all can tell, but I can tell. I mean, it looks gorgeous. So as thinly as I added that on there, I see a little glob there that I didn't smooth out very well. I'll just take my little, okay. As thinly as I put this on here, it should be dry in no time. And so the reason why I want it to be dry in no time is I want to try the varnish at the end of this video. So I'm going to move that out of the way. So I did end up doing the whole embellishment piece on the pink one. So we'll be varnishing the pink one. So now I'm going to close up my iridescent so I don't spill it. Really quickly, let me go up here. All right, do you guys have any questions? Or there is a silver color of that embellishment paint, but I didn't bring it with me. I left it at the house because I was using it in my art journal and I should have brought it with me, but I didn't. So I used the gold in the iridescent for this one. So what I'm gonna do here in just a second, I'm so excited. I have decided that I want to give a resin geode a try. And I know this is kind of big for the feed, so I will be adjusting my stand here in just a second, which means I really won't be able to see you because I have to make you higher. and then I will tell you all about what is on my station, why it's there, what is gonna happen here, and talk to you guys about that while all those other things are working their magic. The talc powder is on the coasters, the embellishment paint is on the paintings, and we're gonna varnish at the end of this. This I'm not gonna do this full geode today on live because I've already been on live for 35 minutes, and I don't want to run really far into it. But my plan is to start painting these um, lines here with the gold. So let me adjust you all. Sorry if I don't want to make you all dizzy. Let's see. Do you guys see that? Most of it. Okay. Let me make sure you're all in focus. So there's a few things that I did here. All right. I have to get down so I can't really see you all. So this is MDF board. It is really inexpensive at Home Depot. And I have been seeing geodes pop up everywhere. And pouring resin is like a dream come true because it's a little bit like the pouring paint, but it's not really. So I'm really excited to try it. So this is what the MDF board looks like when you buy it from Home Depot. It's pretty big. I think I paid maybe $2, and they cut it for me into a 2x2 board. It is quite heavy. So by the time I get done pouring resin onto this, it's going to be very heavy. So the way you hang this on the wall is going to be detrimental. You have to use wire for really heavy paintings. So I took the MDF board. I used a scroll saw, and I actually do own a scroll saw. With redoing a studio, you kind of have to buy power tools. But hey, I'm good because I like power tools. But I used a scroll saw and I cut out this if you can tell was square like this. So I just took my scroll saw and I cut a rough edge around the edges here, and I cut a rough edge around the edge here. Then I painted it with Kills. I rolled it. No, I sprayed it. So it was nice and flat. And that is how I got the white base. Then I took my hot glue gun and my Gorilla Glue sticks. Gorilla Glue sticks are the best that I have found. The glue doesn't really pop off that bad, so I highly recommend them. And went around and made my geode lines. These are going to be the gold embellishment lines that kind of flow through a geode when you look at it. It's not going to be my colors. After I do my gold lines, I'm going to paint some colors in here to give myself a rough estimate as to how I want to pour this, and then I'll mix resin and mica together and I will pour that. And if you guys would like to see the whole process, let me know in the comments below. Let me know in chat. Ask me questions, because I would absolutely love to do these things on my channel. However, I would have to time lapse them and I would have to do voiceovers, which I don't mind doing. It just takes longer to edit the videos. So the last thing that I did just before live was I took my Gorilla Glue and I glued, where are you? Sandra will know what these are. These are strings of crystals, beads. I believe they're glass, but they are made to look like crystals. And I have tons and tons of colors, and I absolutely love them. So I took them and I handpicked some, and I glued them along this rough edge. And then I took this vase sand that you can get at Michael's. It's like $4 for this big jug. And I have the brown. And I have the white because I wanted the sand, but I didn't want that dark brown to show up like that. Excuse me, guys. So I mixed them together in a cup, and I globbed on the glue all around the crystals after I what do you call it? Glued them in with my Gorilla Glue, and then did that, and that gives it that crystallized look. So when I go to pour, I believe what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush a little bit of glue onto this, and I'll pour a little bit of glitter just to give it that sparkly look. I'm going to bring you all down. Close your eyes if you get dizzy. I'm going to bring you all down and give you guys a little closer look at this inside. So as you can see, that makes it look like the inside where the geode is missing a piece and all the crystals have crystallized. Those beads are awesome for that, and if you catch them on sale, it's pretty awesome if you catch them on sale because you can get a good deal on them, which is how I got so many, because they were on sale for like $1 a strand or something crazy like that a while back. And so I just bought up as many because I knew I would want to do this project. So this is my setup. I do have cups underneath it because once I go ahead and get my base painted, I will want to go ahead and pour the resin on there. Then it has to cure for 72 hours, and then I have to tweak it. And at the very end, I will gold gild the edges. But I'll probably end up using Testors Gold for that because I want something permanent. And then, yeah, it'll be finished, and I'll make it to where it hangs on someone's wall. It'll be beautiful. It'll look like a giant geode hanging on someone's wall. So if you guys would like to see all this process, I know it's a lot of steps. Please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know in the chat. And I will do what I can. Now let me get up here, make sure you guys are in a good spot. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and get out my paint, and I'm going to start painting this. I'm going to show you really quick how I'm going to do it. I'm going to paint these, just the lines here that I've done with my glue stick. The glue stick adds a little bit of a wall as well, so that the colors that I pour in between these two don't mix so much, which is a good thing. So, I'm going to get out my embellishment paint. And this is another reason why I was so excited to buy this paint, because I could use this embellishment paint in a lot of projects. So, and this is pretty much what I'm going to do. If it gets on the board, I'm not too scared. I'm not too worried. Because guess what? I'm just going to paint it anyway. Give myself kind of a rough draft as to how I want this geode to look. And I feel like after you do this part of it, it does kind of get that feel of a geode. Like, looking at it white, it just looks weird. But then as you look at it more, it kind of builds its shape all on its own. Not too worried about that. Again, any mistakes I make, the resin will correct later. I'm not going over on the edges here because like I said before, I'm just going to paint that with gold and gild it. So, tell me you all, what are you all working on these days? Are you guys trying new things? Are you just honing your craft? What are you guys doing these days? To occupy your time, really. I mean, good lord, we got a lot of it on our hands, right? Is there anything fun and interesting that you've tried that you've I've got quite a few things that I do want to try. And I'm actually considering ideas for the channel. I just recently have been introduced to making your own watercolor paint, which is very cool. I mean, it seems very interesting to me, fascinating the process, and it seems like something that I would like really get into. So, I mean, I bought a kit, which I know I just said to you all that I'm not a big fan of the pre-made kit thing. But I am a fan of them when you're trying to decide if that's something that you want to do. I mean, I don't want you to run out and buy hundreds of dollars worth of paint pouring stuff when you just want to try it out. That's why I've always given you alternative options. When I'm talking about my products, the things that I like, I've always given alternative options because I don't feel like if you want to just try it, you don't already have these things, then I don't feel like you need to go out and buy all that stuff. It can get quite expensive. Any art can be quite expensive. Really, unless you know what you're doing, you know what you're looking for. Wowza. It's already starting to come together. I'm so excited right now. I'm going to do this one more here, and then I'm going to go check my two pours and see if they're dry. Well, I know the one is dry. It's got to be dry. Acrylic paint dries really fast. So, well, not when you pour it, but but acrylic paint when you apply it really thin like that, it dries really fast. Now, another thing is if you want it to be more noticeable, like if you want it in your face, I embellish this pour, you can do 2 or 3 coats of that iridescent sheen and it will get more opaque. Which I have a feeling I'm going to have to do on these lines that I'm creating here. But I'm okay with that. This is kind of relaxing actually. Just sitting here and painting these lines. It's kind of relaxing. Okay, guys. So give me a thumbs up if you would like to see um, at least the progress videos of this project, the sped up things. Give me a thumbs up if you would like it. Let me know in the comments below. I'm actually going to move this out of the way and bring in the varnish. Bring in the varnish. Okay. Let me move this out of the way. Stand by. Stand by. Okay. So I haven't put any resin around the edge of that yet, but once you put the resin on, those rocks will not fall off. Okay. Let's see. Ready. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to bring it down and get you guys a little closer, get you guys a better look at what I'm doing. Bring it on down. Oh, hey, there you are. Nice to see you all again. Okay. All right, you all. It says shake well on the bottle. This is the brush I like to use for varnishing. If I have a poor varnish like this, 9 times out of 10, I do try to use a spray varnish. Right, Tammy? All right. So now it is the glossy varnish. So, whoop, gotta open it. The little opener piece is still in there. Let's see. Got it out. Okay. Now, I'm just going to pour out a little dollop. Pour a lot. Why not? I like my pieces really shiny. I don't know if you guys notice that, but I do. And I'm kind of laying my brush down sideways and just kind of running it across. And that's all there is to varnishing. Nothing to think it's crazy about. So the piece will be quite shiny. I will do this though. I hold it by the gallery piece on the back. I'll put a little dribble. Try not to get it on the actual painting. And then I run it up down the edges. Give it a little dribble. Run it down the edges. So this seals and protects your work. It makes it look pretty. This already has a little dribble on it where I just kind of, so I'm just going to use what's on there. Now you could do multiple coats of varnish too. didn't get a whole lot here. So I'm just going to drip some on there. I don't want to put a whole bunch. And then I also don't want to keep tinkering with it either. The thing about it is the back of this bottle doesn't tell me a cure time. And I just got a hair from the brush. Get it off. There we go. All right. Put that in my water and set this aside. Overall, first impressions while it's wet, yeah, it's a varnish. It acts just like a varnish. It doesn't do anything different than a varnish. We'll see how long it takes to cure. In fact, I'm going to lay it over here, knocked in my chair. All right. Now, let's see how this dried. This dried just as shiny as it did when I applied it, so that's awesome. And when you varnish it, even better. Let's see. Let's read on the back of this. Seal your masterpiece with protective varnish. How-to videos at colorpore.com. Well, I guess I'll have to go watch the colorpore.com, and when I give you guys an update on this varnish, 16 ounces for $6. I mean, you can't beat it. When I give you guys an update on this varnish, I'll tell you how long it took to cure. So today we looked at the talc powder, the varnish, the 2 embellishments. I did not show you the flakes because, quite frankly, you've seen me use flakes in my pours before. It's nothing new. I just thought it's kind of cool that they came pre-packaged for pouring. That was kind of neat. And we took a look at this. I mean, I can open it and show you all what comes in. So you get the texture comb. You get a different texture comb essentially, but this one is gonna be cool for doing my little dot pours. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 really long pipettes. Which, I mean, pipettes are pipettes. So, they're really long. They're cool. I like them. There you go. I can always use pipettes. I'm not mad at it. You get, oh wait, 5. You get 5 really long pipettes. You get some pretty decent craft tweezers. Put that back on there. Put that over here to the side. You get a palette knife. And it's got a wooden handle. Another palette knife with a wooden handle. No label on there, but that's okay because it's just going to get gunked up anyway. You get a dabber tool. You get an embellishment paintbrush. And you get a flat paintbrush, which is kind of cool. I mean, they're decent paintbrushes. They're synthetic. They're soft. I'll use them. Alright, so that's out of the way. We went through that. Now, I am going to take one of these tiles. I'm just going to pick one up. Doesn't matter which one. The talc has been sitting on there for an hour now. on the box it said take a washcloth and rub this away. So I'm going to go over here over my trash can, and I'm going to do so, and I'll be right back in 2 seconds to show you if it removed any of that oil. I don't want to do this over that drop cloth because I'm going to do something with it later. I should have left one without the talc powder on it so we could compare. But I did not think. I wonder if I have one out there. I actually do have the painting that I did the exact same paint and silicone recipe on out there. Let's see if I can't go out there and grab it, and then we can compare. Alright, I went ahead and wiped off too. Let me go grab that painting, and we will compare, because I haven't done anything to it. Alright, so here's the painting. And as you can see, it's really, really shiny, especially in certain spots. Right? When I rub my hand on it, you see how shiny my fingers are. Well, no, you didn't, but it's oily. It's really oily. Now, I'm going to take my little washcloth. I'm going to rub it with the other hand because I don't want to rub it with this one. I mean, it does seem that it removed the oil. So I would like this. Now, these are probably, you know what? I have proven on this channel that you can resin over varnish. So what I think I'm going to do, I think what my major plan is, let me go ahead and wipe these off, and I will do their varnish on top of these coasters, and we'll see if the varnish separates. I think that would be a good test. All right. All right. Here we go. Got my varnish brush over there. Got a washcloth over here. Drying the bristles where I stuck it in the water. Do any of you ever do tests like this? I love to do tests like this. Gotta see what works, right? So what I'm gonna do for these though, honestly, because they're so small, I am gonna set them up on cups so that I can just, oh well, move along. Okay. This is the ultimate test. If that talc powder took that oil off. Right here. If this varnish separates at any point, like it's going to be a cell, that means it did not do its job. Pick it up and look. I I don't see any separation, so it might have done its job. I'm slightly impressed. A little dab will do you. So I might even, at the price, the regular price, it's not half bad. I might even switch over to using the Color Pore talc powder because that worked fabulously. Now, this is why I put these on cups. I put a little too much varnish on there. It dripped off the edge. I'm okay with it dripping off the edge. Put a little less on that one. Always add more, but you can't take off. And if later on, if I wanted to go back and varnish these, or resin these, I most certainly could. But sorry, I got concentrated. If I wanted to go back and resin these, I most certainly could. But you know, if the resin, I need to see how the varnish dries, which I will give you guys an update video on all of these products. I will let you know how the varnish dried, if it dried sticky, if it dried completely clear, if the talc powder worked the way they claimed it would, if it separated during curing, all of that good stuff. I will let you all know. But so far, in the use of these items, I'm not unhappy. I'm actually thinking to myself, money well spent, you know? Because finding ways to do these things, although very fun, and I've already done it, I've already done the work for them, you know, it does get to be tiresome. And like times like right now, things are sold out of stores. Crazy things like flour or toilet paper or things that have nothing to do with this illness are sold out of these stores. And you're like, guys, come on now. You know, I might as well go ahead and put it on here. And honestly, guys, I just did 4 coasters and an entire painting, and I've only used a tiny amount of this talc powder. And it looks like I used a lot, but I haven't. So, bonus to saving. So I am digging this. Now, I will not, I repeat, I will not buy ready-made paint to pour with. I think half the fun is making your own. You know, it's kind of like being a baker. I mean, I can't explain it any other way. I like baking my own cake. That's all there is to it. I like baking my own cake. I like putting my own sugar, my own flour and eggs, and you know, my own vanilla extract that I may have gotten at I don't know, the Mexico City that I visited on a cruise with my mother. You know, I like that about acrylic pouring. I like knowing what paint I use. I like knowing what pouring medium I've used. I like knowing that if I add this much silicone to it, it's not going to separate my paint too much. I mean, it's just like those things, like some of those things you just like knowing. So I will not buy ready-made paint. I just won't. But these other items are very convenient, and I really do like them. So if you guys have any questions, please hit me up in the comment box below. I'm sorry I couldn't really watch the chat very well today, but I will do better next time, and I will give you guys a heads up on this varnish. I hope you guys have a really great day. I hope you're being inspired and staying safe, and I hope you guys are trying new things. Experiment, as always. Be inspired. Love you all. Thank you for being my chromies. Thank you for visiting and chatting and crafting with me today. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Bye bye.